Ghostwire Tokyo, a new game from Bethesda, is out now on Steam and Epic Game Store for PC, so we're going to take a look at the game running on Shadow for settings and performance, so let's get into it. What's up, Cloud Gamers? Welcome back to the Cloud Gaming Extreme channel, and we are taking a look at the new release from Bethesda Games, Ghostwire Tokyo. And we're looking at this on the Boost tier for Shadow here in the US, which is the only tier that's available. And before we get into the gameplay, we're going to spend a little bit of time on the settings and some explanation in here. So here we are at our settings, and like I said, I do want to spend a little bit of time here. We're full screen 1440p. I have VSync off because I was getting a little bit more latency than usual. Frame cap's at 60, which is going to work fine for this game for this testing. Motion blur quality turned all the way off. You guys do what you wish with motion blur, but I always recommend off. As far as the SSS quality or subsurface scattering, there's only about a 6% difference between off and high, so if you're wanting to squeeze as much as you can out of things, you could turn it off, but I recommend just sticking with high. SSR quality is very similar at 4 to 6% difference in performance from lower off to high, so I'm going to leave that at high. Global illumination is where you'll get a big difference in your performance, and off is going to kind of kill the ambience of the game, and SSGI is Unreal's solution for global illumination or screen space global illumination, and it's much heavier to run than SSAO, so highly recommend staying on screen space ambient occlusion. It's going to give you 10 to 15 FPS more and still look a lot better than off. Shadow map quality, again, you're not going to get much of a difference between all the way low or high, so we're going to leave that at high. We're going to leave the default one for texture streaming. No ray tracing with this rig, so we're going to leave that off. And for upscaling, I'm not going to get into that on this video. I want to see raw performance, but you can get into AMD's FSR 1.1 or Unreal's TSR if you want to work on upscaling and getting a higher frame rate above 60. So let's take those settings and jump into some actual real-world gameplay and see how that translates. And for the most part, you can expect 45 to 60 FPS, which is pretty acceptable considering being such a new released game and running on Shadow's aging hardware. Now, like I mentioned earlier, latency for me is just a little bit more floaty on this game than what I'm used to, even with me getting about 18 milliseconds round trip with Shadow. So I left VSync off, but it would help with some of the jankiness and some of the hitches to probably have VSync on. So if you want to experiment with that a little bit, maybe smooth out the imagery, that might help you some. Picture quality, though, as usual with Shadow at 1440p, 60 megabits per second, looked very clean, and I didn't have any issues or buffering or connection problems that hindered me while playing the game. Same thing when jumping inside. I would just want to take a quick look. Sometimes you'll get different kind of performance when you're inside or outside due to rendering different things in the game, but for the most part, no matter where I'm at, inside or outside, I was getting the same kind of performance. So what I'm going to do is kind of leave you guys with about a minute and a half of gameplay, because I was really impressed with this game. It's kind of grown on me. I'm having fun with it, and I want to turn up the sound and let you watch a little bit of this running on Shadow, but overall the game is more than playable on Shadow. You can mess with those settings a little bit, but they're only going to get you so far. So if you guys haven't already, give us a subscribe, a thumbs up, and ring the bell so you know when new content comes out, and we'll see you in the next one.
What's that? Let's check it out. Look who's here. They're in our way. Try to block. You're out of ether. Find some ether crystals. Fill back up. Hey, you got a knack for this. Keep your guard up. Finished. All that's left is the gate.